Welcome back onto the next edition of Run. I'm Brad Brown. We've got the coach Lindsay Parry with us once again. Lindsay, welcome back. Nice to touch base.
Brad, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thanks. And a great question in today. It's one that popped up in our forum, and I'm not going to ask the specific question because there were quite a few follow-up questions asking the same sort of thing for specific cases. But it had to do with coming back after a long layoff, injury-related layoff, or it could be just, in my case, a lazy-related layoff. But the question was, how do you come back, particularly if you had been running longer distances prior to the layoff? It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of being able to run once again or train once again, but you've got to really be careful. What's the best way to come back from a long injury layoff when you start up again?
So, look, I've got effectively two little programs, if you like, that I use. And one is when we're coming back from a long rest after really mucking ourselves up, for example, racing a marathon really hard or doing an ultra, anything where you still sore 3 days later. Then typically what I'll do is rest anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks, depending on what time of year it is and the damage done. And first run back, never more than 20 minutes. And 20 minutes, quite simply because anything that starts to hurt or if you feel any pain within 20 minutes means that you're going to be a pretty short walk back to home. So you're never going to catch yourself in a situation where you are 20 minutes from home and then you think, oh, it's going to take forever to walk home, so I'm going to run. So if something hurts, we can shut it down and we go. And then over a period of 2 weeks, I'll essentially add between 5 and 10 minutes tops per run and get myself to within 2 weeks running around an hour or just over an hour. And from that point on, I would be fairly comfortable getting into a program. Of course, I'd be mindful of what I'm training for and how much time I've got to train for it. So we're not going to jump into a 3-hour run. If you're coming back from injury, very similar. Depending on how long you've had the injury for, that will determine how quickly we get back into normal training. But the same principle applies. First run back is 20 minutes, always a standard 20 minutes, because I want to know if anything's going to hurt, and if anything does hurt, I'm close to home so I can walk home. The difference with the injury, and particularly if it's a long injury layoff, which is the question that you asked, is that I will probably then go through a period of 4 weeks where I will run every second day, run 20 minutes again, and then after I've had 2 successful pain-free runs, I increase the distance to 25 minutes. And I'll have 2 successful 25-minute runs, then we'll move to 30 minutes. And again, we just follow that process until you're running for an hour pain-free. When you're running for an hour pain-free 3 to 4 days a week, that's when you can actually look at, okay, I'm going to start following a program, I'm going to set some goals, and off we go.
And Lindsay, the danger is there, particularly for someone who's maybe been training for marathons or ultra marathons, and let's say they pick up a stress fracture as an example, and they're off for it for a prolonged period of time. Your mind feels that you are mentally okay to come back and run almost the distances that you had been running before you picked up the injury. But the danger is there that if you come back too strong, you could re-injure yourself. The same injury, or because you're favouring maybe that leg, you go and injure something else. So patience is key here.
Yes, exactly. And so, with the example of the stress fracture, if you've rested long enough, the stress fracture will be fine. But it's everything else around it. And how long have you been out? And if there was a lot of discomfort in the stress fracture early on, and you have upset your running gait, then by starting too quickly, you are going to still start with that slightly compromised gait and put other structures under pressure. And if it's more soft tissue injury, ligaments, tendons, those kind of things, then you absolutely are at risk of re-injury if you build up too quickly at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Lindsay, as always, great to catch up. Don't forget, if you'd like to win yourself 3 months access to the Coach Parry Online Training Club, we are giving it away thanks to Biogen. All you need to do is tell us what you're training for, what you need help with, and use that hashtag BiogenJourney on social media, and we could pick it up and make you a winner. and we announce those winners on our audio podcast. You can pick that up wherever you listen to audio podcasts. You can pick it up on Spotify, on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we are there. So just go look for it, search for Run with Coach Parry, and you will find it. That hashtag, once again, is Biogen Journey. Until next time, from the two of us, it's cheers.